If you're wondering what's going to happen in real estate markets in 2023, you're not alone. In today's video, I'm going to take you through my predictions for what's going to happen this year, specifically in second home markets. And not just that, I'm going to show you how to adapt. So let's get right to it. If you haven't been living under a rock, the real estate market has been up, down, and sideways over the past few months. And depending on your news source, you may be thinking the sky is falling, or you may be thinking things are going to continue going upwards with no end in sight. I personally believe we're going to end up seeing something in the middle there, with specific markets differing based on the following factors. The number one thing that you need to keep an eye on is what's going on with mortgage rates. Not only was that one of the big players that drove so much demand in these secondary markets throughout the past 2 years, but I believe it's going to be one of the things that causes people to exit these markets as well. Not because they're as low as they were, but if they go higher than they are, I want to talk you through exactly why that's going to put some people out of the business that they started and how you can take advantage of that. For you to fully understand what I'm going to be talking about here, I do want to take a step back. So secondary home markets tend to lag traditional or primary markets when there are ups and downs. If we were to look back at 2020, some of the first markets that did take off were large primary markets like Phoenix and Boise, Dallas, Austin. Secondary markets took some time for that steam to pick up. And what we're seeing now is exactly the opposite. Some of those primary markets, starting in the early to mid fall, started seeing some downturns, some price declines, whereas secondary home markets were generally unchanged. Speaking specifically to Ocean City, New Jersey, my market, we still haven't seen price declines. So whether they come and when they come and to what magnitude is what we want to talk about today. So one of the things that drove demand besides low interest rates was the dream of owning a vacation rental or owning a property that's going to not only generate you additional income, cash into your pocket, but is going to become a way for you or a buyer anywhere to build generational wealth. What I've seen firsthand, specifically when looking at some of these properties with buyers in my market, is that the numbers no longer make sense. If you're not paying cash, the mortgage rates where they are now, along with the prices where they are now, the financials simply don't work. If you're looking to have an Airbnb unit, you're looking to rent weekly, whatever the case is, generally speaking, you're going to have a negative cash flow, especially once you factor in paying property management, right? Paying somebody to take care of the property while you are gone, especially if it's not in driving distance from your home. Whether that was you who bought into these markets during the last few years and you have seen your occupancy rates fluctuate, or if you're thinking about looking for that best possible entry point, feeling like you missed the opportunity with all of your friends, family, coworkers talking about these properties that they bought and how it's making them money and how it's hands off, let's talk to what you should look for so that you can know when to make your move. In different markets, you're going to see occupancy rates doing different things. In a market like mine here in Ocean City, occupancy rates tend to stay very, very flat no matter when we are in a boom or a bust cycle, with the one outlier being COVID summer of 2020, when occupancy rates were out of control for obvious reasons. But generally speaking, depending on the market you're looking at, you should be looking for what occupancy rates are doing. If over the past 2 years they were around 90%, 70%, whatever that market average is, if you start to see that go down, we're going to see sellers or owners become sellers because the numbers no longer make sense for them. Now, please don't assume that just because occupancy rates go down that everybody who invested in these is going to need or want to sell. Every single investor is different. They have different criteria. They look for different opportunities. They handle their portfolio in a unique way. But if we're looking for one red flag or something that you can keep an eye out for, it's going to be occupancy rates. Now, you might be thinking, well, if occupancy rates are going down, is that really a market I want to dive into? What I would urge caution about is making a long-term judgment based off of a short-term trend. If economies are contracting, which we are in the midst of that right now, obviously people are going to have less expendable, less disposable income. They're going to take fewer vacations. So yes, occupancy rates are likely to decline. But where this makes sense is not to jump as soon as you see an occupancy rate start to slip, but it tells you that there are going to be opportunities. So from that point, you should be in touch with a local expert real estate agent on what the opportunities are, which ones make sense. They should be able to help you run the financials to see, hey, this property is going to get you 8% return on your investment, or 3% return on your investment, or hell, negative 10%. to help you steer clear of the lemons. So my guidance for you is twofold. What I think you should be keeping an eye out is occupancy rates, primarily. The secondary thing you should do, if you haven't already, is find a local real estate agent in the secondary market that you want to take a look at so that they can become your boots on the ground. They can bring you opportunities that they're looking at on a day-to-day basis anyway. So my prediction, if we have to lump all second home markets together, I think we're going to see a decline of between 5 and 10% on prices by the end of 2023 in secondary markets. Demand is going to be way down. That's going to drive prices down. And if interest rates stay where they are or even get more elevated, that is going to lead to prices finally coming down. Now, if you want more information about second home markets, how to find one that may be near you, how to go through the process of finding which market may actually fit your needs, whereas others do not, I have a link down in the description to sign up for my weekly newsletter where I talk all about this stuff. And number two, if you do already know what market you're looking for or you're between a few, the next step is to find a local real estate agent. But not all real estate agents are created equal. Not all of them are savvy enough to navigate these complexities with the short-term rental markets. People who've been doing this for 20, 30 years are not necessarily used to this. So I have a great network of agents across the country, specifically who focus on second homes, who live and work and are true experts in their market. Feel free to reach out to me. I would be happy to connect you and put you in touch with somebody who's going to be able to serve you at the highest possible level and help you invest in your future by investing in real estate, where you can also use that asset for your family's vacation or time away from the hustle and bustle. Now, as for how to adapt, if you are looking to buy in one of these markets, I would encourage you to stretch out your timeline a little bit. It's more likely than not that we are going to see prices coming down over 2023. And while I'm not about timing the market at all, I'm also about being smart. And that is taking the information that you have and making the best possible decision. So I would urge you, if you are dead set on buying this spring, come hell or high water, don't let anybody stop you. But if you're more flexible on your time frame, I would be willing to bet that there may be better opportunities that come this fall and winter in 2023 than you're likely to see over the next few months in the beginning of 2023. If you're a real estate agent operating in a second home market like me, I would encourage you to focus and double down on your content about the local market, making videos like these, bringing people into your world so they can see the breadth of knowledge that you have and you can become established as the knowledge base in your market, and that they will reach out to you when the time comes. If you deliver value, if you serve with no expectations, and you continue pumping out good, relevant, helpful tips, news, and data into the marketplace, I promise you the reward will be well worth the effort. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I'm coming out with 1 to 2 videos every single week in 2023, specifically on second home markets. So that's all for now. I appreciate you hanging out with me, and I will see you on the next video.